I have a picture of my first selfie ever.
Yeah.
Right outside of Sheremetyevo. I look so tired. My eyes underneath them black. I never
You were
sleep.
running on E. Because
Yeah.
from before, from your interview,
Yes.
the stress of it, everything. Like you sure don't forget everything. I believe it.
Cortisol levels on high.
I believe it.
The whole time through. So
I believe it.
that was the first time when I actually, not a familiar face, but somebody who was there for me. I was like, all right, I can relax a bit.
I don't have to be as vigilant.
And it wasn't just me alone that they were picking up. They were picking up other students who were going to Kursk State Medical. So, yeah.
So what part was the university the same? I don't know. Do they do provinces in Russia?
They have
the airport state. So the state was the same state. The airport is in the same state as the school?
Oh, no. Sheremetyevo, they have 3 different airports in Russia. The one that
international airport.
In Moscow, I mean.
In Moscow, okay.
So the one that I landed at was Sheremetyevo.
Is where did you? Was it far from?
No, it's actually very far from the
airport.
Sheremetyevo is in Moscow. My school is in Kursk. Kursk State Medical University. It's Kursk State. And that's about, well, driving is about 8 hours from Moscow.
8 hours?
Yeah, driving. Train is like what?
Maybe 4?
It depends on the speed of the train.
Got you, yeah.
So the slowest train would be like, alright, the speed of the train have a lot to do with it. Because you have overnight train that take like up to 11 hours.
But they're cheaper.
They're much cheaper.
Right.
And you have like the fast train, they call that Lastoshka. That one is like the business class. That one fast. 5 hours.
Wow.
5 hours is fast.
Yeah. No, that is fast, yeah. Because they make stops along the way too.
Yeah, they do.
So with the stops, that's why it comes up.
Yeah, they do.
So so that's how long it took you to get there from, so it's not the same place, you're fine. It's not the same place as the airport, Moscow, in Moscow. So I have to jump the gun.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to, but in all the time you were there for 6 years. Did you come home any time?
Yes, I did. Okay. I traveled, I think 3 times.
Okay.
I dreaded it though.
Yeah?
Because the journey was...
To go back to the airport and then...
The whole thing again, leaving Kursk, which is rural Russia.
Got you.
To Moscow. To then boarding the plane in Moscow. To JFK. Then JFK to Kingston. It's always a journey.
It's like a 2-day trip.
Always 2 days. My journey started 1 day before the actual flight. I hated it. I hated it.
Well, at least you were able to come back.
Well, that's true.
Because, I mean, some people, not to say like relative, right? But it's a lot. It's a lot. It can be a lot.
It can, it can be.
So, okay, cool. All right. So, you're in Russia. You did an English language program, so you didn't have to worry too much about speaking Russian.
Yeah, it was in English medium.
Okay, so that helped a lot. And in the time though, were you going out for things, or did you have to interact with Russian public?
Yes, to some extent. Okay, so when my first year, I had lived in school housing. It wasn't, like how at UE you have the campus and you have the housing not too far. It wasn't on the same campus. It was like just maybe a 10-minute bus ride down the road. The hostel was. But, so I wasn't really forced to interact with the native people per se. Who I was interacting mostly was other students. Russian students lived at the hostel as well, but I don't know. I didn't really interact with them much. The most times I would interact with the Russian people would be at the supermarket or the shops or maybe on the bus ride itself. But I didn't really go out that much. So in my first days there. I mostly interacted with my African people. Got you. Yeah.
So community building. So it was mostly African. You said you were the only Jamaican.
Yes, I was
at the time.
The only Jamaican.
And the first, I'm jumping the comment, but first to graduate.
Yeah, first to graduate from that first to graduate from my university. So
That's crazy.
yeah. One of my concerns though before going, I was thinking about am I going to make friends, but that was soon dissipated because everybody once they hear that I'm from Jamaica, wow, wait, come here. Yeah man, them love Jamaica.
I think that's so interesting though that you were an adult now, but like had a whole degree already, but you were still concerned like, am I gonna make friends? Are people gonna like me?
Yeah, man. Remember, I was very, very introverted.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I want to feel a sense of belonging at some point.
We all do, yeah.
So yeah.
That's
they were my family away from my family.
And that's so important to have. So you said you were the only Jamaican and there were no other Caribbean people, but there were lots of Nigerians, you said.
A lot of Nigerians, a lot of Ghanaians, which other? Congo. I don't remember any other like prominent.
Maybe that's what the primary
Caribbean, I mean African countries, but yeah, the African presence was really strong.
Yeah.
There were lots of Asian folks there as well, Malaysia, India, Singapore, Sri Lanka, China. And
then you said you had some Central and South Americans.
Yes, too. Brazilians were there as well, Ecuadorians. Brazil, Ecuador.
Amazing. So you had a community there, and you started to, in your class, for example, in your year, you had groups. Did they do groups there in medical school? So you take your classes together, you were telling me, and so your group had Indians, a
Brazilians, and an Ecuadorian at one point.
And Nigerians.
Nigerians, definitely.
Okay. So you had your community, and that was good. So I guess, all right, medical school is medical school, but you're in Russia. Do you think it was different there from what it would have been if you were at home, or was it more or less curriculum the same and just studying all the time?
I think more or less the curriculum was similar, but what I got to understand, I was like comparing it, like my friends who would have completed medical school in Jamaica, I asked them like, okay, I'm learning Latin language. Is it the same? But they don't stress that, but I learned Latin language.
Because of how anatomy and so is
exactly. I learned I had to learn Russian because you're going to interact with patients eventually on the ward, so you need to have that, even the basic medical jargon, medical language to communicate with them, and even interacting in the supermarket, business places, daily life, living. Yeah, you need that medical language. You need that language background as well.
So tell me more about what it was like being in Russia, because when it's, depending on the time of year, the days are like 18 hours long. Is that true? Like most of the day, like there are very few night hours, like dark.
Yeah.
Was that hard for you?
It wasn't really hard.
Okay.
It wasn't really hard. Okay. Me, I was just taking everything day by day in awe. I don't think it really hit me that I was by myself in a foreign land until I actually reached like maybe a day or two, and I was like, wow. Yeah.
I'm really here
by myself.
Far from, like, there's no hopping on something to go home quick. Yeah.
I have to make it or break it.
Yeah.
And when I reached there though, I didn't really like the housing accommodations in the school housing. So it was really not
so you just moved. It's different because our standards are different.
Yeah, but trust me, this kind of housing was really bad. They had roaches.
I'm not gonna lie, when you say hostel, that's what I think about.
They had but this way bad. Roach, bed bug, rat. I was traumatized because at the same time I was thinking, oh, look how I left my nice, good up house, clean and stay good. For come live here so like this. So no, when I reached there I was like, no, I am not staying here more than I need to stay here. So I ensured that I grasp every bit of daily life skills so I could maneuver myself outside, because I was even looking into renting an apartment so that I could move out as soon as possible. I gave myself 1 year to stay in, the shelter of the school.
Right.
And then after that, I was like, nope, I'm leaving.
So you moved into an apartment?
Yeah, I moved into an apartment.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that was much better, much comfortable.
Okay, so better quality of life for you while you're studying.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, because it's important. You need to be comfortable. So, all right. I remember you told me that you locked your hair. So this is a big thing. When people leave, you go to a country that's not predominantly black. There might be people there who know how to do your hair, but chances are they don't.
Yeah.
And you say it was just by chance that you locked your hair before you left, not thinking about what you were going to do.
At all. So I started my lock journey like maybe 2 years before I left.
Okay.
So my locks were somewhat mature, somewhat young. So, and I always do my hair. So I wasn't really worried about maintenance of my hair or stuff like that. I just ensured that I carried my products with me.
Right.
Just like how I carried my seasonings with me. Because I heard about the food.
Yeah.
I carried my seasonings with me. I carried my snacks with me as much as I could carry. Right? So I was pretty okay in terms of like
taking care of your hair and your appearance. Yeah.
Hair.
No, that's good. So I mean, that's a tip, right? It's like,
and people were so in love with my hair that they even asked me to start their locks. Yeah.
So were you doing that? Were you making money?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I did.
I love that.
Locks for people.
I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I feel like Jamaicans always end up doing something because you.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like soliciting business,
No. But you could do it.
Yeah, they expressed that interest. Like, I like your hair. Can you do that to mine? I was like, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I meant to ask this earlier, but I completely. So stereotypes. Were there any stereotypes? So you mentioned you brought your seasoning because you heard about the food. I'm assuming that it was bland or just not very good. In the hostel, they provided food for you, or did you cook?
No, you cook your own food.
Okay.
You cook your own meat. All they provide is the housing.
Okay.
In terms of food.
Yeah, toiletries,
clothes. I mean,
you get yourself.
Yeah, you sort out yourself with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the food.
Yeah. Fair. So, were there any other stereotypes that you felt were true or wrong? Based on what you looked up, you did a lot of research before you left. Was there anything that you felt like, this is not true?
Well, when I reached underground, remember that Crimean War that I was talking about? It was like business as usual. I didn't see any. Let me tell you, the way they painted the picture, soldiers on the ground, long gun. I did not see any of that. It was just like a normal day.
Right.
Everybody
and you when you came in
Moscow,
business. Which is the capital, so it's not. If it was gonna be happening, it's probably gonna be happening there.
Exactly. Everybody was calm, peaceful. Yeah. Okay. Very calm and peaceful.
So were there any stereotypes that you think you encountered while you were in Russia? Can you think of anything, or not really?
Well, I didn't really encounter any racism. I mean, people might stare at you, but that is expected, seeing that you're a black person in a white country. But I didn't feel like my life was in danger or somebody would attack me just because of the color of my skin.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way.
Okay.
If anything, they were more interested, especially in Moscow. They were even more interested. Oh my gosh,
Right. Tell me more. Like, they were curious about the culture and stuff like that?
Yeah, like I remember in the airport. I don't remember if it's on one of my journeys coming back to Jamaica. Like the flight attendant, he was like, him looking at in my passport and said, "You're from Jamaica." I mean, his English wasn't so good, but so I was like, "Yeah, Jamaica." He's like, "What? Come, let's take a picture."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Yeah, they're more intrigued, if anything.
Yeah.
Especially in Moscow, because, you know, it's more...
Yeah, it's the capital, it's a bigger city and all of that. That's so fascinating. Did you ever go exploring in Moscow?
I wanted to in my final year, but that was... COVID took that away from me. Yeah.
So let's come to COVID. So you were there for 6 years. That's how long the program was.
Yeah.
And you left right after the program?
Yeah.
Or did you stay for a little time?
No, I basically left right after the program.
All right. So that was, you came back in 2021?
Yes, in March of 2021.
So you did all of the 2020 COVID there?
All of it.
So tell me what that was like in Russia.
Well,
in school
in Russia, it was really difficult because that final year, most of my classes were, not most, all of my classes converted to online format. My final exams were online. We had the online on Zoom. So they were asking us questions, you know, like normal setting, but you'd have to answer it with the examiner on Zoom. So I don't know, COVID really took a lot from me. Yeah.
Like what? Like, so I know the interactions, and you're introverted, but you seem to be social. Like you enjoy your community once you find them. And I guess you mentioned your graduation was...
Yeah. Oh, yes. My graduation, it was a graduation, but it wasn't as great as it could be. We didn't get to invite anybody. It was just us, the graduates, and the school officials. So
yeah,
we're in gloves. Luckily, we got to wear our gowns and stuff like that. But we're in gowns, masks. We didn't really get to, you know, have a proper prize giving, like, you know, and celebrate. You know, you'd go up and walk across the stage and
yeah.
No.
And your family would be there. Did your parents ever go to Russia?
No, and that was the plan. That was the plan for them to come. Yeah, and they never. Yeah, but COVID.
Yeah. So, when was the last time you'd gone home before COVID? Like, did you?
I went home 2019. So I graduated in 2021. I went home in 2019.
Okay, so that was just before.
Just before
it happened.
Literally just before. If I had known then what I knew now, I would have just live it up more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. And so, all right. So you're at the point now. You're wrapping up. I guess, what would you say in that time being in Russia was how did you develop the most? So you got a career. But was it like a pivotal developmental time for you, being outside of your family for a while, being on your own? Was there anything in that time that really changed for you? Or was there a lot happening back home?
I think my Russian experience, it really changed my whole outlook.
How so?
Because, all right, leaving Jamaica, all right, how do I put this? I was really sheltered in Jamaica. You know, you're living Jamaica your whole life. You think that Jamaica is it. That is it for you. But going to experience a first world country and seeing how efficiently things can operate, and then coming back to Jamaica and like simple things are so difficult to do. That was a whole thing. I was like, wait, you don't need, like, I remember when I went to open my account at the bank in Russia. So I was like, all right, I need my passport, my mother this, my mother. So no, they just need my passport. Just my passport, just my identification. They didn't need anything further. I was like, wait, that's all? It never take more than 5 minutes. I was like, what? In my head, I'm saying all of this.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. In Jamaica, I remember when I came back to Jamaica to open up, you know, restart my bank accounts and so forth, I had to get JP, this, reference, that, letter of this.
Yeah, proof.
I almost lost it.
Yeah.
It
And
was,
it still takes days, even with all of that.
with all of
You have
that,
to go
it's
back
still,
sometimes after the first time.
exactly. So that is just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
What else can I think of?
It might come to you later
Hey,
on.
no, it's not coming
Yeah,
to me
but
now.
okay, no, that's totally fair. But okay, so just experiencing different processes and seeing how efficient things could be, you said, and
Oh
also.
yes. So all right. So in Russia, I was really exposed to other cultures, other religions, stuff like that. So learning about it in school and then actually meeting people who are of those beliefs and faiths is two different things. Because I had classmates who were Hindu, Muslim, all of that, and to see how they worship
Yeah.
and stuff like that, I was like, wow. It was really an
Yeah.
eye-opening learning experience for me as well,
Mm.
just to understand somebody
Yeah.
else's.
Like they have a prayer room or they have a space. They have to make a space where they can go and pray. Sometimes there is
Exactly.
no room and they go, like I remember, in my experience, I've seen people in the library because it's quiet. They'll go downstairs, like around the corner. Sometimes it almost feels they just need a space, but it's like they have to create a space.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, I think that's an
Yeah.
interesting thing to see as well.
That was like, okay, one of my group mates, his name was Ayuba, he's Nigerian. So he is Muslim, and that was my first time actually knowing there was something called Ramadan and fasting and iftar and all of that. I was like, wow. So just being exposed to all of that, I was like, I have a better appreciation for other people's, cultures, where their background, where they're coming from. I'm
Yeah.
more understanding.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not because we don't have Muslims in Jamaica, but we just weren't around them like
Weren't
that.
around them. And
Yeah.
Christianity is the
It's
predominant.
predominant in Jamaica.
So yeah,
Yeah.
if it's one thing, I'm more rounded
Yeah.
world citizen because
Yeah.
of my time in Russia.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, before you came back, was there anything that so you finished school, you graduated, was there anything, I know you said you didn't get that much time to explore, so was there anything you had to do to prepare before you were coming back? Like when you were still there?
Yes. Yeah, I had to get my documents translated.
Oh.
Yeah, because I had to get them notarized, translated, authenticated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of that whole process, right? So that when I come back to Jamaica, it's a seamless transition when I go to Ministry of Health and submit my documents that they can actually understand it, right? So yeah, those stuff like that. But in terms of anything otherwise, not really. I had already made up my mind that I was not staying there.
Yeah.
So I knew that once my 6 years was up,
That was it.
packing up stuff and going back home. Yeah. So in terms of like other preparations, maybe I started selling my property, like my bed, my dresser, stuff that I couldn't carry with me in my suitcase.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so was it hard to leave? Like were there relationships that you formed there that were hard to leave?
I mean, being in a country for 6 years, there are people there who have literally become a family. In terms of romantic relationships, no.
Okay.
But friends who became family, yes. I cry.
Yeah.
Me cry. Like, yeah, like as I said, my Nigerians, they were like
Yeah, your people.
my people. My people. So it was an emotional experience for me.
Yeah.
I'm still in contact with them.
Yeah.
We're all
You should
doing
tell
our
them to come. You guys should come. You guys should make a trip and you guys should come to Jamaica. Nigerians love Jamaica. Come to Jamaica. I know it's a big trip, but take the trip and come.
Yeah, you guys should come.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a really emotional experience. I mean, we didn't want to say it as goodbye, but
Right.
you know,
But
that's like a see you later.
yeah, that's fair.
But we're still in contact with each other, even though everybody is about their busy medical lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do still communicate.
That's good. Okay. And so I guess I should have asked this earlier, but what was the hardest thing? So before we wrap up your time in Russia, what was the hardest thing about being there?
The hardest thing, I guess being away from my family in Jamaica. Because I think when I just left, my nephew had just been born.
Oh, this is Johannes?
Yeah, Johannes.
Okay.
So he was about, I think 2.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 when I left. And I was thinking, boy, when I come back, him not gonna recognize me, him not gonna know me. But that wasn't the case, because I called
Everybody.
so often. Yeah, so he definitely knew about his auntie
Yeah.
in Russia studying medicine, and he definitely let his classmates know. Yeah.
They talk everything, you don't have any filter.
Yeah, man.
Oh my
so
goodness.
he definitely remembered me.
Yeah.
In terms of, yeah, I guess my parents, you know, when I left them here, they had black hair. When I came back, them have gray.
Isn't that, it was only 6 years, but you see the changes, right?
Yeah, you
come
do
back
see
and
the
you see,
changes.
like their statues are a little different, the hair is a little different, the face is a little different.
The wrinkles in places that wrinkles never been
weren't there
before.
before.
Yeah, you definitely see it, and yeah, it's
yeah.
So
That's
just
a real
those changes that I didn't really get to see the progression of it.
Yeah.
See the progression of it in
Because you were away.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're back. We're in Jamaica. You're a trained medical professional. You have your documents, have your proof, but you can't start working right away.
No.
What do you have to do?
Okay, so when I came back, for any foreign trained medical graduate.
Wait, pause, sorry. I don't want to talk about work yet. When you came back, did you take a break?
Can't call it that, a forced break, because it was in the heights of COVID.
All right. Okay.
Yes, I came back in March. The whole Jamaica was so different. Everything is masked. Everybody is staying inside. It was.
And we're outside people.
Yeah, we outside. Go beach.
We're outside.
We outside. Party.
We're
We outside. So me coming back from staying inside because of cold. Me I stay inside because of COVID.
And you want to be outside when it's hot.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So the whole quarantine thing, I had to be inside. I can't really be amongst my people then because you're not sure if you have anything, quarantine, isolation, blah blah blah. Yeah, so it was a next thing. So I was really inside.
Yeah.
For the whole time.
Were you able to? So you see your relationships and being inside was one thing, but were you able to notice differences in the 6 years? So I know you were back every now and then, but sometimes you come back, the airport is different, the road to where you're going is different. Do you remember anything like that being different?
Yeah, I remember downtown looking much different. The digital building,
that was different.
That was different.
Is there anything else that you remember about when you left and now you're back? If not, that's fine.
I think Mandela did look different. Mandela Highway, it was much wider.
Yeah, they did a lot of work
on
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Okay, that was it. Okay, all right, cool. So you're back. You're locked up, unfortunately, COVID. And you have things to do to be able to practice.
Yeah.
So what are the things you have to do?
Okay, so you have to submit your documents to Ministry of Health. That's your transcript, your degree. I think it's a transcript, your degree. Yeah. Right? All of those have to be translated, authenticated, notarized, the whole works. So when you submit them to Ministry of Health, they would then, okay, have you in the system, awaiting placement for internship. Or no, observership, then internship as a foreign medical graduate. So I came in March, but their next intake would have been in September. So I had to wait. I had to wait. I didn't mind the wait still because the journey alone, I had to recover from that. And I got some time to just be and enjoy and
What
just
did you do in that
relax.
time?
Eat.
Yeah. Eat all the food that you didn't have all the time.
Ate all the food, ate all the fruits.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I couldn't really go outside.
Yeah, how was your mother? Like, was she happy for you to just be here again?
Man, she was
Just
over
come in
the
your
moon.
room. She just always
Like,
left space.
Always. I didn't have, everybody was, especially my nephew,
Yeah.
Jill and Pete. He was all over me. Auntie Mez, look at this.
Yeah.
Auntie Mez, look at that.
Right.
I didn't have any time for
yourself.
myself. I was like, God.
No, you just had 6
leave
years
me
for
now.
yourself.
Yes, you can leave me now. You can leave me now. But yeah, they treated me like a princess when I came back. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a new feeling.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So okay, so you had some breathing space. Also, let's acknowledge you did 6 years of medical school. That's intense for anybody.
Yeah.
You could take a little. What's the word when you decompress? You could decompress a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You just finished that goal that you set out to from years ago, and it's all right.
Yeah.
That's accomplished. You have some time to actually think and plan and say, all right, what's the next step? I knew that my next step would have been internship. But, in terms of which hospital, getting work stuff together, work clothes, and you're going to buy your first vehicle and, stuff like that. You really have to channel it and, start planning.
So, and during those things, that's when it was harder because you're getting the systems in Jamaica, the account, where you're going to buy the vehicle, all the things. If you need to insurance, you have to go to the tax office to register the car.
Bank accounts and all of that. I took that time to not only relax, but also to really put some serious planning into place as to what my next steps would be.
Yeah.
So when I started out all of that in that time, so September, I started observership at Spanish Town Hospital. What the observership is like it's 4 months of you rotating through the different specialties of internal medicine, pediatrics, general surgery, and obstetrics and gynecology. So each month of that 4 month period was dedicated to one specialty. And seeing that you're foreign trained, you wouldn't necessarily have that same experience being overseas. You get a real feel of the Jamaican system and what is really expected of you as an intern being back in Jamaica. And the ins and outs of the system. You fine tune your practical skills in terms of like taking blood, citing IV accesses, taking histories from patients, and just familiarize yourself with how the Jamaican hospital system actually
that must
work.
have been really helpful for you because
It
you
was,
were
trust
also
me.
in Russia, and the communication you're having with patients is in Russian and Jamaican. When we say your hand, all of this is your hand.
Yeah.
This is your arm, technically, but in Jamaica, all of this is your hand. So did you find like you were translating because you learned some things in Russian? Or
yes, until it come like normal. So it did take some time. But yeah, that 4 month period was really helpful. I had no complaints at all.
That's good.
Keep it up.
Keep it up, Ministry of Health Jamaica.
Yeah,
keep it up.
That was really helpful.
They're doing some things right. That was good. That's awesome.
So by the time I was ready to start my official internship in January of 2022, I was ready.
You were ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't fully ready.
Right, but you were ready to start.
I was ready to start and get into the system and do.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. And so tell me more about the internship. That's what you're doing now, right? How long is that?
Oh no, I'm not doing internship now, but
that was 1 year. You told
it
me
was
that was
1 year. So I did it from January 2022 to December 2022. So similar to the observership, it's the 1 year period is divided among the 4 specialties, but only in 3 months interval. Yeah. So each 3 months is dedicated to either internal medicine, pediatrics, obstetrics and gynecology, and gen surgery. So basically you do what is expected of an intern. You manage your patients. You basically manage a ward.
Okay.
Right? You ensure that your patients get their medication, that they're doing well. Any concerns that, are brought up to you by them, anything abnormal, you ensure that you bring it up to your seniors and for adequate and efficient patient care.
Yeah.
So that was really, it helped me to really hone my medical skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so you're back now, you're working, and do you feel any regret? Like you feel like you should have tried another country, or you really enjoy being here and working in the Jamaican system so far?
I mean, being in the Jamaican system, it does have its challenges. It does have its challenges. But in terms of working here, I really enjoy serving my people.
Yeah.
Right? The conditions may not be ideal, but I do have a sense of pride knowing that I can be of, that service to the Jamaican society that basically grew me.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's good so far.
Yeah, there's room for improvement, but
yeah. No, I appreciate it. And I think it's people who think that way who need to be in health professionals, because what would you with somebody who's like, I don't want to help you, I don't want to serve anybody, or I don't want to improve things or whatever. So I appreciate that. So I guess as we come to a close, go ahead.
There was one thing that I forgot to mention though. Yeah. Coming back to Jamaica as a foreign trained medical graduate, you have to do licensing exam. The Caribbean Medical Council licensing exam. There's 2 parts to it. So the first part is what do you call it?
Practical?
No, it's a multiple choice exam, and then the second part, it's more of a practical component.
Okay.
So you'd be taking, showing your history taking skills and what you do to manage that patient based on their complaints. So you would have to do it either before you start internship, during internship, or after the internship period is completed. So that is also what you have to take into consideration if you're going to study outside of Jamaica and come back. That's
smart. And that license exam, with that, you're able to work in some CARICOM countries.
Yes, CARICOM countries.
So with that, you could go to another place that observes that.
Yeah, Trinidad, any CARICOM country.
No, that's great. So that's a good thing to note as well. So it's not just applicable to Jamaicans, but to even if you're from Jamaica and you wanted to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you're not limited to Jamaica, you're not limited to UE.
Yeah.
Right? If the opportunity presents itself, I would say take it.
Take it, yeah. Especially if you're unattached.
Take it.
Yeah. And a lot of the countries in the Eastern Caribbean need medical professionals, trained medical professionals too. Okay, so I want to know, do you have any tips for people who are looking to come back home? It doesn't have to be Jamaica specifically. But 3 tips, top 3 to prepare when you're coming back.
Have a plan. Don't just open and say, all right, I'm coming back to Jamaica, and you'll figure it out. Just know, have a plan. You need to know how you're going to make your money. I say save as well. Have a plan, save. What else?
If you only have 2, that's fine. But if you think of a 3rd.
I'm thinking. Nothing not coming to me.
Okay. That's fine. Have a planner and save. That makes so much sense. And then I want us to learn something.
Oh.
I want us to learn something.
All right.
So tell us whatever you want to say. We could say, you know, I'm happy to be in Jamaica, or you could say, I don't know, you could introduce yourself. No, don't introduce yourself. You could tell us, can you say something like there's no place like home?
No, I can't say that.
Okay. All right. You could tell us, what's your favorite order at the supermarket? Like if you're going to buy eggs, and how much is that? How much is... What's something you ended up saying a lot? What?
What would I say?
Or say you had a certain order at a shop. What was something you said a lot?
I would just say something simple.
Okay, go ahead.
Yalu blue. Jamaica is ita Maya strana. Yeah.
And what did you just say?
I said I love Jamaica,
Okay.
and Jamaica is my country.
I love that. Thank you so much. Okay, and with that, we're gonna thank Dr. Meserete for her time today, and you can learn more from her. You can find her on social media. Those links will be below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.
Yeah.
Is there